My question to you
Yes.
guys is this. How many
Yes.
more times, how many more times do we get
Yes.
this very similar ending of Daniel Bryan getting beaten down? Like,
Yes.
how many more times? Or, do you, like, when we need a small victory from Bryan. When are we going to get that?
I think we're going to keep seeing Daniel Bryan get beat down until either after Night of Champions or Battleground. Like, he has to look like, when they're going to give him the title, he has to look like the giant underdog, right? So there's no better way to do that than just beat the crap out of him every single week.
My worry is that they're gonna end up doing what I talked about. I think it was 2 weeks ago, which is WWE is gonna fandango this. By fandango, I mean that they are trying, they're they are playing with fire. They're trying way too hard to see just
Yes.
how far and how long people will go caring about Dana Bryan,
Yes.
and they keep doing the exact same thing. And I will
Yes.
punch you if you say yes one more time.
Yes.
I forgot my point now.
All right, well, then I'm just going to jump in. No, I agree. How many, people are going to start to lose interest if he's just getting his ass whooped every single week. And I think the next 2 weeks, he really needs to get some momentum and get some small victories. Because not only that, you know what I mean? Just being invested in the story, it's downright depressing every week to have Raw end with Daniel Bryan laid out. It's really like, it's kind of wearing on me. It's like, I really want to see something happen where he gets the best of him, even just a little bit, just once. Because it's really like, you just kind of like disappointed now. Like, I was very disappointed the way it ended this week. I was like, really? He's getting beat down again? Like, give us something.
See, I'm looking at it from the other side of it, where it keeps making him look like a greater underdog. So he keeps getting beat up. Keeps getting beat up, and then at Night of Champions, he almost beats Randy Orton, but he gets screwed again. And then that's when he starts building momentum up into the next pay per view, where he could potentially win the title, and it's just some big thing where the underdog finally beat the system.
And I mean, from the way that WWE is playing everything up, Daniel Bryan is not even an underdog. He's in countless gauntlet matches. Every match that they put him in, you see that he's either about to win, something happens that he gets screwed out. So the fact of the matter is that he's a viable contender for the WWE Championship. But once again, WWE is trying to play this whole thing of how long can we go until we lose interest? Because it's not about, at least to me, it's not about Dana Bryan being beaten down at the end of Raw. It's getting beaten down the same way, not just on Raw, but on SmackDown, because on SmackDown we got the same thing. So it's been 3 shows in a row that we get the same thing, and it's like, okay, we get it. There's the Shield, there's the Big Show thing, but give us something. Honestly, I would love to see him beat Roman Reigns. I think that would be a great way, because you have this huge powerhouse guy or something. He's already fought. I mean, he's brawled with Seth Rollins. He's had a match with him. He could maybe either beat the U.S. champion, maybe like even a non-title match, just to say, you know what, I will beat one of your Shield guys, and it's not even going to be for the championship.
On the topic of Roman Reigns, did you see at the end of Raw this week when Roman Reigns, before the triple power bomb, he did a thumbs up, thumbs down thing? I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. But yeah, I think
Did a Batista chant break out?
did a Batista chant ever break out? Basketballs don't hold grudges. But I would, maybe that's where they go with it after the pay per view. Like Daniel Bryan, like periodically just goes through the whole McMahon Corporation thing, where he goes through Daniel or Seth Rollins, he goes through Roman Reigns, he goes through Dean Ambrose, and then like finally works his way up to Randy Orton. Then maybe after that he goes after Triple H.
And did you guys notice sort of, they were kind of adding, there was this flaw to Daniel Bryan's character recently, or at least in this episode, where he was being, overly prideful, and Big Show was actually the more sympathetic character in the main event,
They've been
like you
doing that
actually
for months
felt,
though.
you would actually felt more for Big Show, because Brian was not at all. He was just kind of an asshole to Big Show, and Big Show's just trying to be nice.
Once again, we go back to the exact same thing where I think WWE is testing the waters to see how far down they can go with them. And the issue was that, I don't know if you guys remember when I said this, I think it was last week or the other one, but when I mentioned that the way Daniel Bryan talks sometimes makes him seem like the character that WWE doesn't want him to portray, because the way he was yelling, a lot of times it even turned me off, because I'm like, I support you, dude. I am with you, okay? We are with you. And I get that maybe they're still playing off to the whole anger management thing, but the fact of the matter is that when you have the Big Show sort of getting cheered at one point during the match, and then maybe the crowd's getting confused, just like a couple weeks ago, is a good indication that maybe you should just be a little bit clearer about who's who if you really want this to play up all the way to Survivor Series or Battlegrounds or whatever.
The part that bothers me is, like, how many times is Daniel Bryan gonna have to prove himself before they, like, drop the whole "I need to prove myself" gimmick? Like, you've done it once, you did it with Randy Orton, you did it with Kane, and, like, yeah.
I think it's winning the WWE Championship. Once you do that, then I think he's solid. But until then, it's probably going to keep going. They'll ride that out until he's champion.